Hi there, this is the Why We Horror podcast where we dissect our favorite movies, digging down deep into why we told this horror story in the first place. A couple of trigger warnings. The film we are going to discuss is fairly crass, dealing with sexual assault and all kinds of murder and attacking of children and Catholicism. So be warned. The film we are going to discuss is Silent Night, Deadly Night. Um, my name is Matt, and my favorite Christmas movie is Home Alone. Um, who wants to go next?
All right. My name is Jenna, and my favorite Christmas movie is Muppet Christmas Carol.
Good choice.
My name is Alex. My favorite Christmas movie, probably A Christmas Story.
Fair enough.
All right, I'm Amber, and choosing a favorite Christmas movie is like choosing a favorite child for me. They're all good, even the bad ones. But since you're making me, I will say my favorite is The Year Without a Santa Claus.
I don't know that one.
Nice.
One of the stop motiony ones with Heat Miser and Snow Miser.
Oh, I do know that one. I've only seen it once. Interesting. I'll revisit. Well, welcome to the Why We Horror podcast. This time we're getting down into the nitty gritty during the holiday season by talking about Silent Night, Deadly Night. And this one has a lot to unpack. The director of this film is Charles E. Sellier Jr., written by Michael Hickey, based on a story by Paul Caimi. The cast stars Lilyan Chauvin, Gilmer McCormick, Toni Nero, Robert Brian Wilson, and Charles Dierkop. Cinematography is by Henning Schellerup. Score by Perry Botkin, and edited by Michael Spence, who acted as second unit director, which we'll come back to in a little bit. A brief synopsis of this film is that after a young boy witnesses the murder of his parents at the hands of a man dressed in a Santa suit, he and his brother are delivered to a Catholic-run orphanage where they endure a series of abuses. Years pass, and that young boy begins working, now as an adult, at a toy shop and gets a little murdery after he is forced to perform as the store's Santa on Christmas Eve. What did we think of Silent Night, Deadly Night, which is a very divisive film? And I will save my thoughts until we pass it around.
Right. Well, I guess I'll start. We'll go in the same order that we did our little intros. I love this movie, actually. It really works well for me. I think it's interesting because just based on the concept, it sounds like it's going to be a cash grab. It's like, oh, murder is Santa Claus. But then when you actually watch the movie, they like put the work in to create an actually coherent story that's told in a kind of an interesting way for a slasher movie. It also just, it's very campy. It's so 80s early slasher movies. That's my favorite horror genre, so I'm a little biased there, but I absolutely love this movie.
All right, I guess
Fabulous.
I'll go next.
Yeah.
So I think it's I think it's fine. I think it's fun, but I think it's just a okay movie overall. But I think where I find the most interesting aspect is how different the first half of the film and the second half of the film are. Like, I was so on board the first half, and then I was like, second half's fun, but I think it lost the story.
Fascinating.
Yeah, I will agree that I feel like it loses the plot somewhere. I can't pinpoint exactly where, because also, I don't know if I could tell you what the plot is. Like, I get it. I know what it is, but then I think about it too hard, and I'm like, is that what he's doing or not? So I enjoyed watching it because, like Jenna said, it's very campy. It's very 80s. I love that. Is it Billy? He's fabulous for being like kind of I don't know, like Ken doll stupid, and then also like hypnotized into murder time. Like I love when he switches into like Santa murder mode. That was so good. Liking it and disliking it, I don't know if those exist. Like I enjoyed the experience, if that is a good enough answer.
My stance is that the real punishment is the movie we watched along the way. I abhor this film and respect it in equal measures, and it's fascinating because this could fall into like a category for me of worst movies I've ever seen, and yet there's so much to talk about and unpack for such a stupid movie that I have been looking forward to this since I watched this movie on Thanksgiving Eve. So yeah. All right. Well, we'll certainly get more into our review here shortly. But let's break it down into its analytical themes. Amber kind of touched on something that I think makes it really unique and interesting. Well, all of you kind of mentioned it, and that this is unusual for the 80s slashers in that almost every one of them followed a final girl or whatever. This one isn't so much of that as it's a why-done-it. You follow this killer from adolescence to adulthood and see the building blocks that justify, well, not justify, that explains how he gets there. And admittedly, what he goes through is so abhorrent that I could see, and understandably, why he does what he does. The moment the unusually hot Santa turns to killing, though, was just wild. That party is crazy.
Yeah, that being a work party was bonkers to me. I loved it so much because I don't know, you have to pay me money to spend time with a lot of my coworkers. There's just like no way after like working in a toy store, right? On Christmas Eve, 7 p.m. rolls around and I lock the door and I go, all right, everybody, let's party. Like there's no way I'm not in my car already leaving.
Yeah,
and then
right.
Everyone's just like getting wasted and apparently committing sexual assault in the back room. And there are only like 5
Joe Pesci in the back. Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot of people there to cover you, my guy. What are you doing? It was fun.
Yeah.
I
We'll
might
get
have
into
murdered
that
someone if
shortly.
I was at that party too.
Yeah.
What was that?
I probably could have been a murderer in that party setting also.
Yeah.
Yeah, working Christmas in retail is definitely does that to you. So
Yeah, I've lived that life. It's really weird that the first half of the slasher film kind of rise that happened post 70s into the mid 80s really did follow everything that this movie doesn't. This movie comes out and does the whole following the serial killer. It's really kind of more of a psychological thriller with immensely entertaining death scenes, or inventive death scenes, anyway. But it's weird that after this movie comes out, the big three, Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, all become the kind of hero killer, and the like final girl of it all kind of fell by the wayside, especially for Jason. I think this is closest to a Jason movie in a lot of respects. And it's sort of like a necessary evolution of the genre, but it's also kind of my least favorite aspect of the slasher genre. I'm a big slasher guy. Slasher genre is my favorite genre, but the moment that you lose track of following the hero characters and start following the killers, it really loses me. It's not my favorite version of that genre.
It's
Anybody
hard to
else?
root for the main character when the main character is a violent murder man. And not necessarily killing people that even deserve it. Our killer's pretty indiscriminate in this movie with who he goes after. And what he deems to be naughty. Naughty.
Yeah.
Also love the little his rendition of that whenever he's killing someone. Naughty, punish.
It's
so
the
good.
best.
He can act. He proves that he can act throughout the thing, and then when he goes into killer mode, he becomes so stiff and wooden. It's hilarious. Yeah, I don't know.
But I think that's an interesting juxtaposition too, because if you think about Santa Claus, he's always jolly, like overly jolly and happy, and then in this movie with the Santa Claus killer, he's almost completely devoid of emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
do like that they have him switch like that when he's Billy and he's like this kid who is a good kid who is trying to be good and trying to do right, and then like he has whatever trigger sets him off, and then it's almost like he's a different person, right? He disassociates and becomes that killer. And I also think it's a very big part of the film that he gets what is right and what is not right from his Catholic orphanage, Christianity, Mother Teresa lady who catches people having sex in like the dorms or whatever and just yells punish, punish, and then physical violence is how they literally beat the nutty out of you. So of course that's what he did when he sees it.
Yeah, and that was kind of one of the next themes I was gonna address was the Catholicism kind of as the big bad, the true villain of this story, besides the innately evil guy that kills the parents in the beginning, is Mother Superior, and ultimately that's who he is motivated to kill at the end of the film. All this is leading to getting retribution for what she instilled in him. That's a really interesting and complex kind of character study or breakdown for Billy and whatnot. Like, far more intelligent than this movie would lead you on.
Then the movie with the killer Santa Claus has this like horribly complex and tragic backstory for our killer Santa. It's like the paths that it takes to get us to Killer Santa are so wild, and yet they almost make sense in the context of the movie. You go, okay, yeah, I can absolutely see why this guy would be dressed up as Santa killing people. It makes sense. But then on paper, when you think about it, it's like, how do you get from small child to grown killer Santa?
I mean, it spends like half the movie on that, like just to at least have any sort of logic to it, which I was surprised about. I was like, when's the Santa killing gonna start?
It's just like so mean-spirited too. It's like somebody saw It's a Wonderful Life and was like, no, well, don't lie to the children. And like, you had it right for 3/4 of this film. And kind of just doubled down on that. The weird scene at the mental institution in the beginning.
With Grandpa, yeah.
Is wild. Absolutely wild. What do we think is going on with Grandpa?
That man was like 55. They were like, he's senile. That guy's fine, actually.
He just likes to mess with children, which is probably why they locked him up there. Just can't get enough of traumatizing little kids.
I think that guy gave the best performance of the movie too. That guy.
He was
very
yeah.
I think it's a recurring theme though, because if let's say it starts off with the old guy in the mental institute and like passing down trauma from Santa, and then by the end of the movie you got the little kid as well who has the same sort of trauma and just keeps going and going.
Yeah, it's true. I wanted to talk about the sex and violence of this film. Because much like Halloween, this film kind of conflates sex and violence. But this time it's rooted in the abuse he sort of experienced as a kid. And it was more the abuse he was witness to. And well, I don't think this movie justifies it in any way, and I think that especially the killing of the mom in the beginning is insanely repugnant.
Yeah.
And just like provocateur filmmaking at its worst. I also think that this does a better job of explaining how he justifies killing those people that he does far more than Halloween or Friday the 13th ever did.
I completely agree. I thought it was interesting because it's like the common joke of slasher films that like you see characters have sex and then you're just like, well, they're dead. But this actually kind of explains why he would get so like upset when he sees it. I thought that the first half built that up well. I was just like, well, I don't care about any of these new characters now.
Yeah, there's really no like characters in this besides Billy. I mean, I guess Mother Superior a little bit, and I guess Ricky. But
Sister Mary, I think, right, as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Dr. Loomis, but
yeah,
Dr. Loomis, yeah.
Yeah. And that girl he kind of flirts with that he saves and then kills.
Yeah, that was weird too.
Yeah. I struggled with this one.
Yeah, I think I honestly like from the very beginning with the thief, right? The guy who is Santa that holds up the gas station. He kills a man, empties the till, and it's only like $30, right? So you're like, bro, you killed a guy for $30. And then it kind of feels like he kills Billy's parents for no reason.
Yeah.
Like he wanted their car, I assume, or wanted to rob them. And instead he just shoots them and then tears the mother's shirt off because it's the 80s. And if we don't see boobs in a horror film, why are we doing it?
Right.
But then he doesn't sexually assault her in any way. He tears her shirt open and then immediately slits her throat. And so I'm just like, none of this has a reason except we need to traumatize this little boy.
Yeah.
Nothing had a point other than that. And then we continually see this mother's tits out for the rest of the film every like 5 to 7 minutes. And I think that bothers me. Like, I'm not like wishing that there was a sexual assault in that situation, but like it would have been better that way. And I feel so icky. But like, otherwise, why did this happen?
That's fair.
And then he
you know what's
like
wild?
This baby and hunts down the child. None of it makes sense to me. It's so bonkers crazy.
I went off the deep end after watching this, and I watched 2 and 3 as well, which we'll touch on shortly. But the consistent through line between all these movies is the mom's boobs, because that shot is in all 3 films. And it's the only shot repeated in all 3 films. Crazy.
It's like in Batman when his mom dies and Martha's pearls go everywhere. It's that except for her breast being freed. Yeah.
My cat just scratched me. Beautiful. Well, that's a good segue. Let's talk about the kills. I love that the kills are executed super Christmassy. Like they find a way to embed Christmas or its setting throughout the entire slayings in the beginning, but certainly in the back half. And I appreciate the pun of the guy that was hammered that gets hammered. Brilliant. I loved it. What did people? What was your favorite kill from this?
The sled.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's so
Sled.
funny.
top tier. The way he just jumps out, and then you see the head roll down.
Yeah, it's just the back
So
of the head
good.
still on the body. It's just, it was so funny.
Yeah, honorary mention to the elk or the deer murder
Yeah,
too, even though it has the gratuitous, unnecessary 80s nudity in it. But just the concept of like getting impaled on a reindeer head during Christmas is funny to me.
I think
That's
when
my
he said
favorite
it,
kill.
The guy just did not notice. Like when you just walk
No,
it's just right there. It's just like he's just completely oblivious.
And how strong is Billy? I feel like that takes a lot of pressure. I don't know. I've never tried
Okay,
it, but
also-
it was
I was thinking, how strong is this guy when he kills his coworker, and he's just like holding
yeah.
an
Yeah.
extension cord around his neck and just
Yeah.
lifts him up that way? I'm just like, okay, Billy, go off, like hit the gym.
Yeah, he's been working out.
I also really liked the antler kill. That's my favorite one of the bunch. But it had the gratuitous nudity, which I am not a fan of. That whole segment is wild to me because it starts with them kind of getting hot and heavy. She's half nude. Her parents, is it come? Oh no, it's the sister, right?
Sister, yeah.
A little girl.
Yeah.
And
I
then
thought
she
she
has
was
a
like the
moment of
babysitter,
modesty.
but
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has the moment of modesty where she covers up. And then there's the knock on the door that she goes to address without any modesty, just trolling around half naked. That's crazy.
With the jean shorts, which is like
Was it the
arguably
cat?
the most uncomfortable part.
Yeah, for the cat, letting the cat in. That's what it was.
Yeah, she just opens it full top off. And it's like the front door too. It wasn't like their back door. I was like,
No,
okay.
right? It's
And there's
crazy.
carolers outside. They just heard them like 10 minutes ago.
That whole scene is just
I do think my
insane.
favorite part of that scene is like, so they're downstairs, right, getting it on the pool table, and the little girl comes and just kind of like calls down the stairs to them, right, and they hear it perfectly fine. She gets her to go back to bed, whatever. Then the woman goes upstairs to the door, gets it fully like chopped down on her, right? She's running through the house screaming. He's falling all over stuff. Lots of yelling happening. And this man is downstairs just playing pool. La-di-da. She fully gets picked up and speared through antlers. And he's just like, wonder what's happening up there. Just no, he didn't hear any of that, but they did hear a little girl go, can I have a glass of water? Or whatever it was. None of the
Yeah.
screaming, none of though, none of the door being chopped down.
It's wild. Equally wild is
My
what
favorite.
happens to the police with the police who almost kill that one random father Santa and then successfully
yeah.
kill the second Santa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They kill the deaf priest.
Yeah.
Father McGregor, whatever.
Yeah. That's just so mean. But at least that cop, who is apparently still allowed to like troll around
Yeah.
that building, gets an axe to the chest like a few minutes later.
Right.
It felt like such a random scene for the when they had the two cops that saw the Santa breaking into the
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
house, and it's just they barge through. I'm just like, and at the end, I'm like, what is the point of this? I mean, I guess to show that, you know, how do you find a killer Santa during Christmas? But I was just like, this is a wild scene.
Yeah, it's crazy. Out of curiosity, did you guys watch the unrated cut or the rated cut?
I think I watched the unrated.
Unrated. Yeah.
I also watched the unrated.
I have zero idea. But probably that. Whatever
It was-
Rex gave me.
It's far more graphic. And you can tell because the quality of the picture disintegrates the
I was
moment
gonna
that,
say, I noticed that. I'm like, what's happening here?
Mhm.
They didn't have any of the original footage intact. It had deteriorated. Upon restoration, that was the best they could do. Okay, so this film was embroiled in controversy.
What?
And
No way.
the thing is, the filmmakers made this movie with expected provocateur kind of instincts, expecting controversy from the Catholic Church. And those themes never really manifested. Like, that wasn't where the controversy was rooted. It was the killer Santa angle that was what basically tanked this picture. Because the advertisements on TV showed Santa with an axe. The poster itself is Santa like going down the chimney, and you see the axe. It's a great poster. And it was that really was what sank the picture. Not the insane amount of violence, not the anti-Catholic messaging. It was the killer Santa of it all, which I think is wild. And we'll touch more on that in a little bit. But I also think that, weirdly, that's the one boon this franchise has that allowed it to continue being what it was. What once was so controversial now is kind of like the selling point. And you see like knockoff movies kind of doing that. Even Terrifier 3, he's just dressed in a Santa suit, right? Yeah. It's kind of wild how things have changed.
We had Violent Night with David Harbour, I think it was.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Just literally Santa going around killing people.
Yeah. But
yeah. But see, in those situations, Santa's still the good guy, right?
Yeah.
Maybe like not Terrifier.
Yeah, I was gonna say not Terrifier.
Violent Night. Not Terrifier. But yeah, the David K. Harbour Violent Night, he's the literal Santa, and he is helping a family that has been taken hostage, right? So he's violent and bad, but only to the bad guys.
Yeah.
And so it's okay still.
Yeah. We'll circle back to some of that controversy in a little bit, because I have feelings on it that I think are both, I get it, and at the same time I think it's a little bit of fear mongering, I guess. But we'll touch on that later. I also wanted to touch on the sequels. This film was designed as a planned franchise. It sounds like 1 and 2 were kind of written, at least in part, in tandem, and the ending of this movie sets up Ricky as the next killer by choice. Did you guys get a chance to watch Silent Deadly Night Part 2?
I watched Part 2, yeah.
I did.
Unfortunately.
Did you watch it, Amber?
I like parts of it more, but I think
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Part 2 is wild because there is a 40-minute recap of the first movie, where it's just Ricky reflecting on his memories that aren't his memories. Yeah. It's his brother Billy's memories.
It's so funny.
40 minutes. And you just see clips of that movie. It's
so funny
wild.
It's rough watching them back to back because of that, because it's like you're just watching the same movie that you already just finished.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's
again.
My thing was like with the psychiatrist asking Billy, Ricky, I mean, about like his how does this make you feel? And then Billy would be like, I feel sad, but this is how my brother felt. And then just we get the complete recap, and it happens so many times.
It's crazy. The funniest thing is that like that movie has somehow the most charismatic and least charismatic actor I've ever seen in my entire life, who has like eyebrow acting like Hermione in the Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Like it's that's the only thing he knows how to do is movement of those eyebrows.
I do enjoy Garbage Day. Like that scene as a whole is chef's kiss. It's probably actually not probably that is the best part of the movie is the Garbage Day sequence.
I disagree. My favorite part of the movie is when they go and watch the first movie at the movie theater, and that's what prompts him to go into his killing spree.
No.
That dude's delivery of like, so what are we watching?
Any more of these myself, but now I feel like I have to.
You got to watch the second one. The second one's hilarious. Like midway through the movie, he like sits down next to his girlfriend and he's like, so what are we watching? And she's like, oh, it's a great movie about a killer Santa. And then he just turns to her and he goes, what? And it's the funniest thing. His delivery is just pitch perfect. I also watched 3. 3 is one of the worst experiences that ever happened to me. 3 follows the brother yet again, but instead of keeping the same magnetic actor that is so bad you can't look away, they make him a person that can't speak, that has like his brain exposed on the outside of his head. And it's terrible. And he's trying to communicate with this blind woman or through this blind woman. I don't know. It's wild.
What?
I have no idea what's going
on. I didn't watch it, and you said it was bad, but that's kind of intriguing me now. I do want to watch it just to see.
I mean, no matter how I speak about this movie, it's going to make it sound more interesting than it actually is. Because I promise you, once you're watching it, it'll be the longest 87 minutes of your life. I didn't watch 3 or I didn't watch 4 or 5. They don't have anything to do with the Billy or Ricky story. Apparently the 4th one has something to do with bugs and like witchcraft, and then the 5th one's like a toy maker starring Mickey Rooney.
Mickey Rooney?
Well, funny you should mention that. Mickey Rooney was embroiled in the controversy of this film, writing to the studio, condemning this film and the whole notion of a Killer Santa movie. But fell on such hard times, agreed to be in the 5th one.
Oh, so he was like against them until he was like, yeah, I need a job. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. Then there was a remake in 2012, and it's a very loose remake. It really only has a couple of moments that are similar, and it does have a Killer Santa. But that one is not too bad as far as remakes go, yet all the qualities this film has, all the rich themes and stuff that we just were talking about, are completely absent. And in its place, it's a sort of somewhat generic slasher film where they're trying to figure out where this Santa is and who it is so they can stop him. But it's a pretty effective thriller starring Jamie King and I can't remember his name. He's from A Clockwork Orange and the Halloween remake, the Zombie Halloween. He played Sam Loomis in it.
It's not Michael Douglas.
No, I can't remember his name. I'm a horrible cinephile.
Michael Keaton? I don't know.
No, it's gonna drive me nuts. I'll remember it by the end.
You can insert it in editing. Yeah.
Yes, McDowell. Thank you, Malcolm.
McDowell. That's yep.
Well.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it stars those two, and it's actually not too bad. It's a really pretty looking movie, like really good use of lighting. And there's a new remake coming out on the day that this is going to be dropping. So this remake is hearkening as a direct remake of the first one, right down to the big Billy and the Ricky of it all. So there you have it. Did we have anything else we wanted to talk about before I jumped into sort of the fun facts and trivia about the movie?
I love the music of
I
this movie and how it sounds like a
Yes.
cat hitting all of the keys on a synthesizer and a keyboard, and it's just so
Yep.
absolutely love it. Also love the random montage in the middle when he's working at the toy store, and then it just shifts to a sitcom really quick, and then shifts back.
Yep.
that 80s montage, beautiful.
It's so
I'm so glad you pointed that out. The first thing I wrote down was music is excellent. It's random and unsettling. It's so 80s. And then when we got to that montage part and that weird like country music Christmas song starts playing, I literally crossed out the word music and wrote sound is excellent because that song was so bad. I was like, no, I can't say that the music is excellent anymore. This is awful. But I agree. Just the switch into it and then out of it again, chef's kiss. So good.
It's so good.
I agree that especially the title card when the music hits, that goes hard.
Mhm.
I thought I thought like it had a goofy ending when the little kid goes like naughty, but I thought it was a very like when you think about it, it's very depressing because like the two main characters that made kind of Ricky who he was, the Santa and the Mother Superior, like didn't get any sort of retribution. We got other like you know some jerks or other stuff like that that don't necessarily, not all of them obviously, the one who assaulted in the toy room coming, but like just some jerks on sleds that get beheaded, and
That's I guess
interesting.
that's where the second one comes into play because Ricky gets the retribution on Mother Superior. That's ultimately what the plot is.
Yeah.
But it's hilarious because they keep showing clips from the first movie, but then they get to the insert shot of the reveal of Ricky finding out, but obviously time had passed, so they cast a new actor to play young Ricky. And so they just insert a new kid going naughty. But keeping the original Mother Superior, only for Mother Superior to show up at the end of Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 as a completely different actress. After you've seen throughout all the flashbacks, it's a completely different woman.
Sister Mary was a different actress as well. She had a, not as big, but still one part.
Yeah. That just cracked me up. Like how careful they were at like, people will recognize this isn't the same boy. And but then they just keep this. I don't know. That's just that made me cackle. Man, you're missing out on that second one, Amber. You should watch it. It's a
I'm
vibe.
gonna have to do it myself.
Yeah.
But
all right. So fun facts and trivia about Silent Night, Deadly Night. There's a lot going on here. The original title of the film was Sleigh Ride. I said in the beginning that it was based on a story by Paul Caimi. Paul Caimi wrote a screenplay out of Harvard about it was like a horror film that involved a killer Santa. The producer of this film didn't like that screenplay at all, but just wanted to use a killer Santa, so just optioned the title and the plot of the killer Santa and rewrote it from the ground up by hiring that Michael Hickey guy who did not like slasher films. So he made what he thought a slasher film was like. So that's why it's kind of like an unslasher.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Directors considered for this because it was a director for hire job. The first person considered was Sam Raimi, who had only directed The Evil Dead at the time. This would have been his second feature. But they turned him down, as well as Ken Kwapis, who you might know as the director of the Sesame Street movie Follow That Bird, The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, and several episodes of The Office and its spinoff, The Paper. the fact that he was considered for this tickles me. It ultimately went to Charles E. Sellier Jr., who hadn't really done anything in the horror genre. And in fact, when it got to filming the death scenes, he was too squeamish to do it. So he passed it off to the editor and second unit director, Michael Spence, to shoot the death scenes. Before his death, Sellier pointed out that he hated this film, he condemned it, and spent the rest of his career producing biblical films. This movie opened up on the same day as A Nightmare on Elm Street in 1984, and outgrossed it opening weekend.
Wow.
That's crazy.
The thing that took it out of theaters was the controversy, which allowed A Nightmare on Elm Street to gross $57 million, and this, I think, capped out at around $4 million. It's so strange that A Nightmare on Elm Street and this movie are kind of the two introduced qualities that kind of changed the genre for the rest of the 80s by either following like the hero character or just shifting into a supernatural killer, as Nightmare on Elm Street did. And in fact, this franchise did. It was so controversial that Phil Donahue dedicated an entire episode to this film. And Siskel and Ebert rebuked the film on their show, reading the names of the producers and filmmakers responsible for the picture. And Siskel looking dead into the camera saying, "You people have nothing to be proud of. Even if you made a few bucks off all the negative publicity, your profits truly are blood money."
Listen, I like this movie more and more, Matt. Keep telling me.
Well, the producer's response to Siskel and Ebert was that he claimed that their review was the height of hypocrisy to review the film at all, because if they really felt that way, they simply shouldn't have even talked about it. But the fact that they chose to review it was only to get ratings.
Interesting.
So he's something special too. And producer Ira Barmack, who had the quote I just read, ended up buying back the distribution rights from TriStar, who was the one that had released the film theatrically. When TriStar decided to pull, Ira Barmack bought back distribution rights. The main reason for pulling the film was because Columbia TriStar was owned by Coca-Cola, and it was Coke that was responsible for the film getting pulled because of their ad campaigns with Santa Claus.
Listen, this is making so much sense.
They basically invented the modern incarnation of Santa, and this film was like tarnishing that, so they ended up pulling the movie. This is my favorite piece. This is a quote about the movie from none other than Quentin Tarantino, who has takes, ladies and gentlemen.
I was going to say, he's doing great in the news lately, so... Let's go, Quentin.
Quentin Tarantino loves this movie, and he said it's probably the only holiday horror movie worth discussing. Here's the quote that killed me. He was saying that the weird part about it is, as fucked up as that kid's life is, I watch that movie and I go, that's a little too close to how I was raised. People were that mean to me when I was a kid. Adults were actually that mean. I saw myself in that kid and I go, that is a little too close to my childhood. I mean, nothing that bad happened, but that's definitely too close to my childhood. So there's a little explanation for
that explains some stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he and Robert Rodriguez were at a convention not too long ago where they reenacted the mental institution scene with Robert Rodriguez playing the boy and Tarantino doing the full monologue of the grandpa.
Oh,
All right, I know what I'm watching when we're done. That sounds good.
It's beautiful. So, does anybody have anything else they want to say before we get into our star rating?
like off topic slightly, but this movie made me think so much about how confusing Santa must actually be to children as like a concept, because we tell them all of the time not to like talk to strangers and not to take candy from strangers and don't get in like vans or whatever. And then we drag them to malls and like force them on strangers' laps while they're like screaming their heads off because we've always told them don't talk to people you don't know. But then we're like, but this guy in his red suit and beard or whatever, he's going to give you candy and you're going to be good and do whatever he tells you to for that candy. It's weird to me, and I think it's fine that that kid's afraid of Santa. It makes sense.
Yeah, I kind of feel you. We were somewhat reluctant to teach our daughter about Santa, our firstborn, and just kind of culturally, she picked up on it. Like Alicia, my wife, had a traumatic discovery for the truth of Santa, and so she was like, "I don't want Willow to go through that." And ultimately, this year, like in April or so, around Easter or whatever, Willow discovered the truth, and that was like devastating. And so my wife was like, "See, I blame you. You're the reason." And I was like,
Sorry.
"Yeah."
There is
much.
something, very sinister inherently. I mean, again, Santa's this jolly figure, but it's also he's watching your every move, and he's gonna write down on his list what you're doing, and if you're not a good kid, you're not gonna get anything. Which that that can get really depressing really fast, just because everyone has different privileges and parents have different budgets for Christmas. So people don't have parents, and then that aspect of Santa is always a little murky, and it doesn't give the warm fuzzies of any kid thinking that, well, Santa didn't come, or like I must have been naughty because he didn't give me all of the stuff I wanted, but this other kid at school got like a tablet or whatever.
Yeah.
No, Santa is evil, is what I'm taking away.
I mean, most kids' Christmas movies focus on like the aspect of believe in Santa as well, like continuously reinforcing it.
Yep.
Yeah. Even the ones that are kind of like questioning it, like Polar Express, ultimately land on the believe side.
Yeah.
Believe.
So how many unusually hot Santas are we going to give this movie? I can
Out
go
of
first.
how many? Is it 5 total?
Out of 5. We'll do the letterbox rule. I give it 1.5 unusually hot Santas. It's a movie that I find so mean and so like how vicious it is and ruthless in its kills. Like right down to the father right in the beginning, who just gets shot through the window and he falls out of the car, and there's like no dignity there. It's certainly the mother hasn't her dignity taken away. Like it's just so mean that I can't get behind it. And yet I think I could talk about this movie for the rest of my life because there's so many interesting things to say about it. And I like it for that reason. I respect it, but I just can't give it above my 1.5. But yeah, let's hear what you guys have to say.
I'm on the other side. I'm gonna give it 4 unusually hot Santas. First off, I rate my movies based on how much I enjoy them. I love garbage. Like I just love garbage. I love it. And this movie definitely teeters into garbage territory because it's for all of the reasons that we've mentioned before. I just find it so fascinating. I enjoy it. This is like a great Christmas movie to just put on while you're getting the tree set up in the background. Whatever mood you're in for. If you want drama, you've got that in the beginning. If you want just kills, you've got that at the end. The Santa theme of it all, the camp of it all. I
You got a
enjoy
little
this.
romance in there. Yeah,
There's
I
a
feel
little
it.
romance question mark.
Kind of. Oh
There's
no.
Catholicism. There's Catholic trauma.
The good stuff.
Yeah. All the good stuff. Yeah. The kills are fun. I also love the practical effects in this movie. I just love the reindeer death, and you see like the little antlers poking through the skin, and it's this great little practical effect that they zoom in on. That stuff is great. I enjoy it. What can I say? But I also do enjoy garbage, and I'm not going to pretend like this is anything but garbage. But sometimes I like the garbage.
That's fair.
I guess I would probably give it 2.5 hot Santas. I guess more like I focus on the quality of it, but I had a lot of fun with it. I would definitely probably watch it again. I just think the first half was like a really surprisingly solid character study. Kind of basic, but at least it was doing something different to the slasher genre. And then the final half just is a bunch of kills on characters that you don't care about necessarily, and just kind of it's fun, but it just kind of stopped caring.
Yeah.
I suppose I will give it 1 unusually hot Santa and 1 sled severed head. I'm glad I watched this film. I won't watch it again, but I will tell other people to watch it, which I think is funny for me because they're gonna come back and be like, "What the hell did you make me watch?" And I think it's so low because I also enjoy garbage and I like camp, but I think it's low because I asked too many questions. And I think maybe if I didn't, I would enjoy it more. But there are so many questions I had about like what happened to him between like 10 and 18 to make him kind of walk out and just go get a job at a toy store and not be just like so unhinged. Like he was just like fine, but he was being like strapped to a bed all night. Like, and that part is like where the mean comes in. Like Matt said, everything was very mean. And I think that's part of the point, especially with like the treatment he was getting in that orphanage. Like that's part of the critique. But then the rest of it kind of didn't hammer enough of that point home because, when you get to the point where he kills the guy that's sexually assaulting his coworker, cool, that's good. But then he also kills that coworker for having the audacity to have been sexually assaulted, kind of, because regardless of how you're having sex, it's bad. So those things, like, it's hard to weigh, like, what's, like, good critique and just, like, stupid. And, like, the mom's boobs being everywhere, I feel like is just stupid and not enough of a reason. It did some good things. It did some bad things. Wouldn't watch it again. Now I have to at least watch the second one.
Yeah, I was going to say, the two things with yours that I wanted to jump on is that I firmly agree with you about, like, the sexual assault scenes and stuff like that. It's what they're going for is trying to provide reason and justification for how his character will ultimately behave, but the execution of it is so gross that it loses the meaning, and it is just a place of provocateur filmmaking at its like lowest common denominator. That's the difference between I Spit on Your Grave and Last House on the Left. And I think this veers far more to that I Spit on Your Grave territory. The other half of what you said of I have to at least now watch part 2. I enjoyed part 2 enough. Like my Hot Santa ratings for that, my garbage days for that, I'd give that one 2.5 garbage days. You probably don't know what this garbage day thing is. Just look up garbage
Just
day.
find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just want to look up garbage day online and watch that scene. It's brilliant.
Unfortunately, if you watch part 2, you're basically watching the first movie all over again.
Yeah.
So fast forward. Started at like 50 minutes. Catch the
Yeah.
end.
It's on YouTube. You can watch it at 2 times speed and just blip through those parts.
Perfect.
There's another SA scene in the second one, but it's done differently, and the woman thanks Ricky after the save, which I think is crazy. The way that they execute it is wild. But yeah, have we said enough about this one?
There'll never be enough to say about this
I know.
movie.
We'll never be done. So probably yes.
Is true. So I wanted to say that our next film that we're going to be doing is actually going to be up to the audience. What I'm going to do is put a couple of choices on the YouTube poll for people to pick. I haven't finalized what those choices are, but as of the date this is dropping, you can look on my channel for the poll. I'll leave it up for 1 week and give people an opportunity to pick the next film. And I'll try to have a handful of really popular, well-defined horror films from that are representative of their era, as well as a couple hidden gems there too. So thanks everybody for watching. I hope you have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a wonderful New Year, all that kind of good stuff. And thank you, my guests, for spending some time with me dissecting, what is this called? Silent Night, Deadly Night. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.